Hello YouTube and welcome back to another quick tutorial from Star Conflict. I'm Aaron
I'm Chris.
and we received a special request to do some of the classes, and what their positions may be in combat and how to strategically use them to your advantage. And so we've already done an interceptor one, and I know it's been about a week since we uploaded, another class, but finally got some time in our college lives. So today I'm going to be previewing the fighter class, and the special guest is Chris, as he's already introduced himself. And the reason why he's our special guest is because, Chris, why don't you go ahead and tell him?
Fighters is the only class I've been playing since Tier 1.
Happened to be his favorite class as well. He's a good fighter pilot. He's a great fighter pilot, and fighters are excellent for soaking up the damage as well as dishing it out with a mediocre amount of maneuverability. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you what I've got here on my Tier 2 fighter. Now, just like in all other ships, it follows the tier system, and if you look on the tree right here, you can see that the fighters are sticking towards the middle of this tree. And so I've gotten all the way up to the Fox M, which is the one I have right here, and I've also gotten up to the Wolf Mark II, but that's Tier 3, and I'll preview that later in some other gameplay, such as a dogfighting one that's coming up. But as for right now, let's just preview what you generally want to go for with a fighter class. And let's go ahead and start with you, Morrison, since you're the fighter expert here. I'm not quite sure what all to put on these.
Okay, well, I'm not really sure if it's the right thing to do since fighters get a reduced spread passively for plasma guns, but I've been rolling with assault railguns on them. And then picking up, for the two weapon mods, I've been picking up one that turns the kinetic damage into thermal and increases the damage a slight amount. And I usually start that out when I'm shooting somebody because the thermal damage is much nicer for getting through someone's shields than the kinetic, and as of yet, there's no mod that'll turn railgun damage into EMP damage. And then for my second mod, I just get the straight damage booster, which has a bit more of a damage boost than the antimatter shells, and I'll switch back to kinetic damage to just tear through their hulls. Seems to be working quite nicely.
I was about to say, it sounds like a solid strategy. What do you usually go for your ship mods? Because that's one thing that's very subjective, and it's apt to change at people's preferences.
Okay, ship mods, for my shield generator, I go with the extended shield capacitor.
I hear you. That's a good one.
For my armor, since the other two either sacrifice some speed or some armor, I've been just going with the resistances. Since it seems like...
Yeah, that's the one I've been going with too. What about the
finally,
capacitor? Yeah,
for the
tell us about
capacitor,
that.
I've been going with the regen one.
Is that the energy regen or shield regen? Because I've got a capacitor that increases my shield regeneration, but decreases
Shield
energy
for
regen.
the capacitor?
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those yet, but...
Oh, wait, I think it's outdated epic gear.
Oh, alright.
It increases my shield regeneration speed by 59%.
No, at least for Tier 2, I'm not able to purchase that one. It's either extend your capacitor volume or increase energy regen.
You're going with the Mark III Tier 2 capacitor charger, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, only the best for the best, right? Vanguard is really good at energy consumption.
Yep.
They do a fantastic job of maneuverability too. So your ships, especially your fighters and your interceptors here, are more likely to come with some natural tendencies of being able to evade those more tricky players. And they're brilliant for actually playing up to their roles. As a fighter, you play as a saboteur. They say that you play offense. If you look at the role real quick, it says class fighter, role offense. But the cool thing about the Federation fighters is they get a special that allows them to go invisible. You cloak for an extended amount of time, and that really allows you to get in behind the enemy and focus on their support frigates. It's amazing to see Federation fighters at work because they have a perfect escape route. They're not as tanky as some of the other fighters, but they still get the job done, and they're the perfect assassins in my opinion. I don't know. Do you have anything else to say about that, Chris?
As far as the roles go, there's been I've seen a lot of questions in the chat over what they mean. And during this recent patch, if you hold shift when you click on your ship and look right above your ship's signature module, you'll see exactly what buffs that role will give you. Like, my current fighter, the role is offense, and so all offensive modules, the effective range are increased by 100 and energy consumption are decreased by 20%.
Yeah,
But
that's
if I
true.
go over to my like wolf, where the role is a tackler, it energy consumption of all tackler modules are decreased by 20%, and it decreases my plasma spread.
Interesting. I never actually found out what a tackler's role was.
It's it doesn't really change your playstyle terribly much. It only slightly alters what mods you may throw on it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. In order for the proper boost and everything. All right, well
As for
that's.
passive modules
Oh
on
yeah,
my
yeah.
ships, I like to take the item that reduces weapon spread, and up till they took it out of the game, I was taking the kinetic coils that increased projectile speed. So that way it turned my kinetic guns into pretty much lasers and gave them really nice accuracy. But since then, at least for tier 2, I wasn't able to find anything that was terribly good, so I just picked up a thing that increased my shield strength.
That's what I've done too. The shield extender module for the passive one.
Um, for active modules, I've switched a lot out, and about the only one I found that's 100% useful in all situations is the Valkyrie system. It's a buff that increases your entire team's damage in a certain radius, and very few frigates take it. They're more apt to pick up the hull buff and the shield regen buff.
I think that's
So,
because frigates aren't allowed to use Valkyrie systems. If you look at the Valkyrie system, it says it's clearly the ship type is fighter. So I believe,
oh, actually, yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Huh.
frigates are not allowed to use Valkyrie systems. Otherwise, I think it would be just overpowered beyond recognition,
Right.
which makes
And
sense.
as for the other two, I've been playing around with them a lot, but in the current state of the game, where 90% of the PvP matches are the bomb, I've liked carrying a engine suppressor and the electronic interface. Because the
The
electronic
yeah.
interface, it's very useful for the bomb runs, because if you're not carrying it, you can cover a person by making people unable to target him for a certain amount of time. And the engine suppressor is useful for if their team has the bomb, because you can effectively cripple their speed and then catch up and rape them.
And that's pretty. I mean, that's a pretty solid tactic too, because a lot of this electronical warfare stuff goes right into your offense capabilities. You've got the target painter here, which reduces your target's hull and shield resistances. So if you've got a guy that's running for your captain or for the bomb that's on your side of the map, all you have to do is paint this guy with the target painter module, and everyone on your team will immediately they'll melt him. This guy's ship will be nothing. And then you've got, the electronic interference module, as Chris was stating back there, and that's one I personally use too. It's really good because it prevents them from targeting. In fact, a little error shows up on their HUD that says you are unable to target or something like that for a prolonged period of time, and it really works, especially with people that don't use lasers, because it makes it difficult to try and gauge and try and lead your targets, which is really good for defense as well as offense. If you're dogfighting, pop that sucker up and either get the heck out of dodge or go ahead and engage them full on. And then, as Chris also mentioned, you've got the engine suppressor here, which I'm showing to you, and this decreases whichever ship's speed that you've targeted by a certain amount, and so it's really good. The fighter, I would say it's one of the more adaptive classes. Would you agree, Chris?
It definitely is. It feels like a happy medium between the quick in and out of the interceptor and the steady damage soaking hanging at the outskirts of the fight of the frigate.
Perfect.
It
I couldn't have said it better myself. What do you say we go ahead and start something?
All right. As for the only module I kind of wish I had on my fighter
Oh yeah, yeah.
is the flares. Because since my fighter apparently can't take the missile defense system, it definitely needs. Are we playing tier 2 or 3?
It's tier 2, don't worry.
Okay.
But no,
Um,
you're right about the flares. Yeah, you know, one thing that I guess is somewhat of a weakness of fighters, since they're not as fast as interceptors and they're not as tanky as frigates, is that missiles can become very hazardous to fighters' health. In fact, that's one of the more common weapons used against fighters because they're easy to track, they're not difficult to dogfight with, um, and if you're a frigate, you can especially tank them while you just fire off missile barrages. So it's kind of unfortunate, which is why I am happy that we are Federation fighters and we have the ability to cloak, because that ability cancels the ability to actually.
it cancels the ability, but the cooldown is also kind of
That's
lengthy.
true. Yeah.
So, especially if you're rolling Vanguard as a sub faction, you should most certainly consider getting flares because we have access to the blue flares, which has almost no cooldown. So missiles,
That is true.
unless they're the like the Predator missiles that
Yeah, that's
Jericho frigates fire, you pretty much will never be hit by a missile.
and
Guided
those
missile.
are guided missiles, right? Yeah, so it's
Right.
anything Jericho or anything homing, right?
Yep.
So
About
it's
the only
it's
things
brilliant.
that'll still hit you are the the piloted rockets and the cru not the cruise missiles, the itty bitty missiles that interceptors fire.
Yeah, and it's got a recharge rate of 10 seconds, and that's because we're Vanguard. If you'll see this reputation level reached over here, is this is found on almost any Mark III or some rare gear item in your warehouse or in the shop. Is that each one of these has certain advantages in the sub factions allow you, as I think we've previously stated in some of our other tutorials, is the sub factions allow you to rank up and get better gear for certain roles and role types, and so this one is definitely a keeper. So but if you roll with the Fox M like Chris and I do, then there's something else we should note, and that's that while the recharge is a minute on this thing, the invisibility duration has been upcreased to 23 seconds. So we have the ability to spend 23 seconds with you not knowing where we are, which is a very good advantage to us. And you will see that in an upcoming game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. And
As you increase along the skill tree for Vanguard, the cooldown remains about the same, but the amount of time you're cloaked increases drastically.
oh, well, it depends. The Wolf's cloak does not last as long as the Fox M's.
But
This
that's
is
also because it's a tier
it's a
3.1, whereas
I'm rolling with the Wolf Mark II.
really,
Yeah, and it's almost fully leveled, and it's different. Here's the difference: is that we're playing combat. Oh boy, the Fox M is specifically designed for offense. So what happens is its special ability allows you to go invisible longer, cloaks longer, right? The Wolf Mark II uh, allows you to go cloak, right? But what happens instead is if you take damage while cloaked, and this happens commonly, that you will take damage when you're cloaked, but if you take damage, you will not decloak, which is a very, very useful tactic because in most ships, if you cloak and you take damage, it immediately cancels the cloaking aspect. And you can find yourself in a really hairy situation. So with the wolf, you can take damage while you're cloaked and never have to worry about coming out. So it's not like you'll be rediscovered, which is I use it to my best advantage. Uh-oh. Incoming missile. There's one thing I sincerely need to get rid of, and it's the module I was describing to you, that rare, obsolete one that they don't have anymore. It ruins
right.
my energy. I can't afterburn for more than a few seconds.
as far as higher tier modules go, you'll start to find that there's a lot more choices, and a lot of them will sacrifice one thing or the other. Like I know there's capacitors that will increase your damage, but slightly reduce some energy capacitors that increase damage but reduce energy regen. And as far as those goes, I haven't muddled too much in it, but for a fighter, a general rule of thumb is your first priority is anything that increases, any module that increases damage should be a necessary thing. And then after that, I would say shields or maneuverability.
It depends on what you're. It depends on what you're playing. If you want to play a good fighter for an Empire fleet, then you definitely want to emphasize the strength capacity that you have, because Empires focus more on their defense as well as their damage output. If you're Federation like us, then maneuverability is, like what Chris said, the way to go. And you also want to focus on shields. So it's highly dependent upon which faction and sub-faction you are. Oh no.
Don't worry, I'm coming.
Wait, I might make it. Oh, see, that's not very fair. Those guys were able to detect me anyways. I really don't understand what that means, because it's like some guys in this game just seem to be able to bypass your cloak. I was cloaked, and this guy totally knew where I was without the destruction of our captain. I don't understand.
I've noticed that. It's very strange. I'm wondering if there's like a mod, a targeting mod or something that lets you...
There's not a targeting mod. There's a spy drone that allows visibility even when cloaked, even when fighters are cloaked. However, the chances of an enemy having that is so rare that I don't understand how they're doing it. There, see, I just used my target interference module on that guy. He is now... Uh-oh. No! He's escaping! It's okay, I think he might be Empire, which means this will be easy. Whoa.
I exploded.
Oops. Oops. Gosh, it's that same guy. It's the one that saw me before. Finally got him, but my locking system is completely gone. Uh-oh. Missile incoming. Hang on a second. I'm going to help out with this guy's shields. Get rid of that targeting system. Pulse lasers are now harder. Is this a Jericho ship? No, it's Empire, which sucks. Oh, never mind. Maybe his hull is... Alright, that worked out well. Careful, our captain has been eliminated. Why don't we... Yeah, go down. Hey, go down. You have your cloak up?
Yeah.
Alright, go down with me, and then we're going to cloak and come up behind their captain.
Okay.
Let's see what I can do here. Okay, you're down there. Great, where's their captain at? Okay, he's up here. Oh, he's like 17,000 meters out. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's one of those that like hides behind their spawn.
Yeah. I wouldn't cloak until we get about 4,000 meters. No, it doesn't matter, because they already know where we are.
Captain does, they don't.
No, they do now, because our captain's been eliminated. That's the new rule. Your captain gets eliminated and you can see the entirety of the enemy team. Maybe he's one of those guys that hides behind rocks and then goes AFK. I'm sitting here crossing my fingers. Alright.
Somebody target onto me. Oh, he just lost connection. He must have been really far out there.
Yeah, he must have.
Frigate.
I'm in range. Who cares about the frigate? Oh, wow, never mind. Should we just drop this and shoot this guy? Yep, I'm thinking we should. Use that module. Gosh. Nicely done, thank you. Oh no, I didn't realize you were under that much stress, my bad.
Nah, that's fine.
Their guy just, like...
Good tactics would have worked much better if our captain wasn't...
Yeah, we wouldn't have been noticed by their team, which is great. Uh-oh. I don't got this. Oh, wait, maybe I do. Nope, I don't. Nope. Gosh, I hate these guys with these fast lasers. They're so annoying. The fact that he got back here so quickly is a pain in the rear too. Dang. Oh, I didn't realize that was the last one.
Kind of a poor example of our fighter tactics because we got.
Well, I've never liked the Fox class. I never liked it. The Wolf, the Tier 3 Wolf is so much better. It is so much because the Fox M, it says it's offensive role, but from my personal experience, uh, it's more of a reconnaissance. Like that
You
thing
have
should
the Wolf
almost
M?
be considered. Sorry?
You have the Wolf M?
No, I've got the Wolf and the Wolf Mark II.
Oh, okay.
The Wolf M is actually a slower, tankier version of the Wolf Mark II. That's because it's the prototype. The Wolf Mark II is an actual command fighter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there's now a daily bonus. You get your first victory of the day, and you get like ×2 credits, ×2 XP. It's really good. It's one of those catchers, you know. When you play it, you're like, oh wow, profit. And by the way, in case we haven't said this enough, this game is really great. Like, to any of you who love to just fly around and shoot at stuff, and you don't want to look for prolonged periods of time or a lot of involvement like Eve or something like that, this is a really great game to get involved
It's
in, just
free
for
to
your
play,
free time.
and you can pick it up either on its own website, which we'll link, or if you have Steam, just look for it there.
The
Doesn't
problem
cost you a
is,
penny.
it doesn't cost you a penny unless you want to buy, certain packages that would boost your initial rise. But the problem is Steam has encountered some errors, I believe. Oh, this guy is going out to Beacon C.
He belongs to us.
There we go, and we got C too. Oh, ow. Oh my gosh. That is ridiculous. People are like crashing into me over here. They just...
Oh yeah, one of the guys, he crashed into an iceberg and then into me. One of their team, so I'm not too impressed by their skills.
Yeah, I don't... This team doesn't seem to be the best in the world. Oh, trying to work on... There we go. Now we're in business. Now we can finish capping this point, finally. There, now that was a testament to the fighter's skill. My skill is not very good, but I know how to play a fighter. And I'll show you some tier 3 gameplay later on in a future tutorial.
Alright,
These
do you
guys
have
are...
assistance at 3?
I got it, but these guys are... The enemy is completely suicidal. I just had a kamikaze run into me as he was being shot at, and we both died. I don't understand. There's a complete logic failure on the enemy team's side.
Hey, I do that. If I'm near death and I can see someone I might be able to take out with a good crash into them, I do it.
I guess. I always try and find the other way out. If you can kill him without being killed, then take it.
I don't know. If you have 7 people on you, you're pretty much guaranteed to die.
I've noticed that a
Unless
lot of
you're
players,
stealth.
if they have more than like 3 people targeting them, they just stop and let them kill them because they see that they're so close to being dead. Debuff. Oh no, stop him. Beacon A.
Oh, I got this.
Oh, I have such an energy problem with this ship.
Wow, the guy cloaked, but he stayed in the same space, so I was still able to. Kill him.
Oh man, this raptor's got a lot of health for a tier 1. What is that sound? There's a missile incoming. Ow. Jeez. It's a good thing I had my adaptive shield on. Increased resistance. Oh no, another one? Note to all you Jericho players out there, get some skill.
Wow, they have a lot of I guess they just gave up on collecting
They
the
did.
beacons and they're just
They've
gonna,
also
like,
got a lot of Jericho frigates, and they're just
Yeah.
firing tons of ballistic missiles into our beacons.
A note to anyone who plays this game mode, using your disintegrators and stuff, if you're
This-
Empire frigates, on this game mode, doesn't really work if you don't have the points capped.
It also doesn't work if you're on this map too. This map is like the ice. Alright, that's it. Punk's gonna take me out. Oh my gosh! Enough! Too many missiles! Oh no, they've already capped our beacon. Are you serious? Take him out. Okay.
I'm coming to help.
I won't be able to take out this raptor on my own. Oh man.
Our beacon has been captured.
We're never gonna win this one. Oh snap!
They got me.
They reversed
got me
it.
with a stupid. I don't even know what they got me with. They got me with a something or other.
They got you with everything.
Pretty much, actually. Like when your damage is split like evenly between like 4 things, and it all happens simultaneously.
Don't let them take B beacon. Oh my gosh! Half their team's over at Charlie. Whoa!
Well, then we just take A and B.
Well, we have B. Someone take A. I'm going for Charlie.
Come with Charlie for you. Whee!
Props to this fast projectile speed module that I'm rolling with. Increase of 35%. That's amazing. Alright. See, if that interceptor can keep him busy, I'm just going to sit here. Oh, we won. Alright. Great, great, great.
Great stuff. Alright,
Oh,
shall
yes.
we end it there?
I'm gonna stop it when I get back to the hangar.
Okie.
Might as well show them the amount of loot you can get with a premium license on for a couple of days, and they'll occasionally do that for the entire gaming community in this game. It's pretty fun. Like if they notice they've made an error or something, well, there's premium license for 3 days for everybody. You know, so it's a lot of fun. It's a really great way of advancing.
Wow, we had a really good group of people. I had over 800 efficiency points, and I'm number 7 on the team.
Yeah, we had a really good group of people. I got second place with like 1,100. Wow. Well, alright YouTube, there you go. It's a fighter tutorial, and next up is going to be the frigate, and I'll go ahead and start my dogfighting tutorial here pretty soon. But for right now, I guess we'll talk to you guys later.